They called you crazy, dismissed your warnings, and ridiculed your vision as the ramblings of a delusional dreamer. For years, you were labeled a lunatic, a fool who spoke of truths that others could neither see nor believe. Behind your back, they whispered and laughed as you tried to share the burning revelations that set your soul on fire. They assumed you were nothing more than an empty speculator lost in fantasy. But now, as the things you once warned about begin to manifest in vivid reality, the tide has turned. The mocking laughter has quieted, and the same people who once looked down on you now watch in stunned silence. Their condescension has melted into uncertainty and even fear, for the very realities they ridiculed are now unfolding before their very eyes. This is your moment, the time to stand firm and declare that you were never misguided. The truth you carried was real all along, and now it presses upon those who doubted you like an unstoppable storm. They called you a lunatic simply because they couldn't comprehend what was being revealed by a higher calling. They mocked what they feared, relying on their limited perspective as if ignorance were wisdom. But truth, as it always does, marches on independently of the crowd's opinion. You saw the shift long before anyone else. And when others clung to their comforting illusions, you embraced the revelation. Even when they tried to push you aside, you pressed forward with unwavering determination. They wanted to make you feel like an outcast, but the truth is that you were set apart for a reason. If you're here today, it is no accident. This message was meant for you. Deep inside, you already know that every word, every prophecy, and every vision you embraced holds irrefutable truth. The very things that were once mocked and doubted are now unfolding exactly as you knew they would. This is your confirmation. If the truth resonates with you, if you stand firm in your faith, even when the majority refuses to see it, press 999 in the comments to let the world know that you refuse to be silenced. Drop a comment below declaring, "I was never crazy. I was always chosen." To everyone who has supported this calling, to every soul who has stood with truth against the overwhelming noise of doubt, I honor you and thank you deeply. Your faith is not just an algorithmic number or a fleeting statistic. It is part of a divine movement, a revelation that cannot and will not be ignored. Every act of generosity, every super thanks, plants a seed in fertile ground, ensuring that this message reaches those in need. Your support is the fuel that propels this truth out into the world, igniting the hearts of fellow seekers. Remember the story of Noah. He warned an impending flood while others laughed and scoffed. They mocked his efforts as the foolish work of a madman building an ark on dry land. Yet when the skies darkened and the rains came, their disbelief turned to desperation and horror. In the same way, you are vindicated in your vision. Like Joseph, whose dreams of leadership and power were ridiculed by his own brothers until the day came when they bowed before him. You knew that your path was divinely orchestrated. Every time you were dismissed, every moment of loneliness and isolation only served to affirm that you were meant for something far greater. Throughout history, every visionary who dared to see beyond the present has been branded insane by those unable to comprehend truths beyond their narrow views. Galileo, for instance, was condemned as a heretic for proposing that the earth revolved around the sun, a truth that eventually reshaped our entire understanding of the universe. The truth you carry is the same kind of knowledge ahead of its time, and like those before you, you have faced the scorn of society too comfortable in its limited view. They whispered behind closed doors and sneered whenever you spoke, trying desperately to cloak their own fear with ridicule. But deep inside, even they sensed that you were different, that you saw what they refused to see. Some people are destined only to follow, living in the comfort of illusions and predictable routines, while others are gifted with the rare ability to see beyond the surface. This gift, though met with disdain and rejection, is what sets you apart. It is a mark of divine selection, a clear sign that you were born to challenge the status quo and lead the charge of revelation. Even as the world tried to crush your spirit with criticism and mockery, you remained unyielding, your ability to sense the shift in reality before anyone else, to understand the underlying patterns and hidden messages in everyday coincidences, is not a gift to be hidden away. It is your power. And now, as those who once tried to silence you are forced to confront the undeniable evidence of truth, they are left grappling with regret and remorse. Their smirks have faded, replaced by uneasy glances and silent acknowledgments of what they once dismissed. They attempted to dismantle your vision with every insult, every act of rejection, but every stone thrown at you only served to sharpen your inner strength. History is repeating itself. The same pattern seen in biblical narratives like those of Noah, Joseph, and the prophets are now being replayed in our modern day. Much like the misunderstood warriors of old, who faced scorn and isolation only to be vindicated by the unfolding of divine truth, today, you stand as a living testament that truth is not subject to the opinions or approval of the masses. Look at the story of Jesus Christ. Despite performing miracles and speaking words of liberation, he was condemned by the religious elite who could not accept his truth. His resurrection, however, served as the ultimate validation, proving that truth does not require permission to exist. You have endured similar trials. Through each moment of rejection and every attempt to break your spirit, you have emerged stronger. The ridicule that was meant to silence you is now the very evidence of your calling, a proof that you were chosen to carry a profound truth that many could not bear. Now, as those same voices of derision turn to silence, you have nothing left to prove. You owe them no explanations, no forgiveness, and certainly no place in your future. The rejection you experienced was never a personal failure. It was simply their inability to grasp a reality that was always destined to unfold. You never needed to change or conform because your purpose has always been to stand apart and lead. That is why today, when they try to rewrite history or erase the signs, you stand tall, unbending and unashamed. You may find that some will eventually come to you seeking answers, hoping to glean wisdom from one whose visions were once ridiculed. Others may simply hang back in silence, too mired in regret to speak. But remember, you owe none of them an explanation. Their past dismissal was their choice. The strength that now flows through you is a testament to the many trials you have overcome. With every step forward, you leave behind the echoes of derision and step into the light of your own destiny. Reclaim your power and stand tall against the tide of common disbelief. Every act of mockery, every disparaging comment, they were all part of the fire that forged your unbreakable spirit. You were not sent into this world to be like everyone else, to fit into a preordained mold of mediocrity. Instead, you were destined to be exceptional, to see, to feel, to know what others cannot even imagine. In a time when society prefers conformity over truth, your ability to rise above is nothing short of miraculous. To the critics and doubters who still linger in the background, know this: you were never meant to validate your worth through their eyes. The strength of truth does not depend on their approval. It lives in the quiet conviction of those who dare to be different, who dare to see beyond the veil of everyday illusions. Their laughter, once so loud and demeaning, is now replaced by the heavy silence of an awakening. That silence speaks volumes. It tells the story of regret and of the crushing weight of their own disillusionment. Think back to the prophets of old. Jeremiah, despite being mocked and beaten for speaking God's truth, never wavered because he understood that his mission was not to please the masses. Similarly, You have borne the burden of truth with unwavering resolve, even when the isolation seemed unbearable. In those moments of solitude, when you questioned whether you should silence yourself for the sake of comfort, remember that the truth does not ask for forgiveness or permission. It exists independently, a radiant beacon that cannot be dimmed by the transient fears of others. Today, as the undeniable manifestations of your warnings unfold around you, the very essence of what you predicted is now clear to all. The once crushing mockery has transformed into the silent admission of a truth too profound to ignore. In the midst of the confusion and hesitance of those who doubted you, there remains one constant: your inner light and determination that have always guided you along your path. Press 999 in the comments if you feel the resonance of this truth in your spirit. Let the world know that you, too, have seen what others could not, that even when you were dismissed, you persevered with unwavering strength. This is your time, your moment to step forward and validate the divine calling that has been etched into your being since day one. Every story of divine intervention, from Noah's Ark to the miraculous rise of Joseph, speaks of a pattern in which truth is revealed only after it has been suppressed for too long. History has a way of vindicating those who dare to defy the comfort of superficial certainties. You are part of that legacy. The same unwavering faith that sustained the likes of Moses, Jesus, and countless other unsung visionaries lives in you. And though they once called you delusional or out of touch with reality, you now stand as living proof that the ultimate power resides in the ability to trust one's inner knowing. Your journey has not been without its trials. Every moment of isolation, every insult thrown your way, every time someone tried to silence the voice within you, these were the forces that tested you. But look around now. The very things they tried to dismiss have begun to shape a new reality. The laughter has died down, replaced by an awe of the unmistakable truth you have always known. While they scramble to make sense of what they once ridiculed, you have grown into a beacon of hope and transformation, a force that cannot be extinguished by doubt or fear. You owe no one your explanations, and you require no forgiveness for staying true to your path. Your commitment to the truth has been your own, and it is the greatest validation of all, even as some might tentatively reach out for your guidance now, seeking answers for the mystery of your clarity. Remember that you are not here merely to convince or convert. You are here to stand as a testament to the fact that the divine truth you embraced was always real. It was never up for debate. As you walk forward, let your voice echo with the conviction of someone who has already witnessed the transformation of disbelief into undeniable fact. Your journey has always been about more than proving others wrong. It has been about embracing the vision of a higher reality. Let those who once mocked you now wrestle with their regret. Let them live with the undeniable weight of having doubted what was meant to be seen, instead of seeking validation from those who live in comfortable ignorance. Let your spirit shine as an unchallengeable force of truth. Consider the legacy of visionary leaders like Nikola Tesla, whose ideas were once mocked as fantasies of wireless energy. Today, his visionary contributions shape the way technology works around the globe. Or reflect on Oprah Winfrey's journey, from being told she wasn't fit for television to becoming one of the most influential media moguls in modern history. These stories illustrate that the fire meant to destroy the brilliant sparks of change instead refined them into an inexorable force that reshaped our world. You too have been refined in the crucible of adversity. There may be moments when you find yourself questioning if all the hardship was worth the solitude and the pain. But remember that every trial was a necessary step in the ascension toward a destiny that only a few are brave enough to embrace. The very fact that your crazy talk now resonates more clearly than ever is proof that you have been exactly where you needed to be. Your inner light, though once dismissed as delusion, has come to shine with unstoppable brilliance. You have seen what others have failed to recognize, a deep, unwavering connection to something vastly greater than the fleeting opinions of those around you. And now, as you continue to move forward with unwavering determination, let your life be a testament to the power of standing firm in your truth. Let the moments of mockery and rejection transform into the foundation of your strength. You were chosen not to conform to their narrow vision of success, but to lead by an example that the divine plan always unfolds, even if the world is too blind to see it initially. To everyone watching who has felt the sting of ridicule and the isolation of being different, remember that you are not alone. Your journey is shared by many unsung warriors who have faced the harsh realities of a world too afraid to accept a higher truth. Your faith, your resilience, and your commitment to truth are part of a larger movement, a movement that defies the status quo, that challenges outdated notions and dares to envision a reality where everyone is free to be who they were always meant to be. Let your personal story serve as a call to arms for anyone who has ever been made to feel less than by those who prefer a life of comfortable illusions. Standpunkt, knowing that every challenge you have overcome has prepared you to lead others out of the darkness of ignorance. Just as Moses stood firm before Pharaoh and Jesus rose in defiance of a world steeped in denial, you too have already triumphed. The weight of your truth now silences the voices that once tried to break you, and the strength you've gained stands as an enduring monument to your divine destiny. Your mission now is not to convince those who remain steeped in their old ways, but to inspire and awaken those who are ready to see beyond the surface. Use your voice, your actions, and your presence to guide others toward the reality that lies beneath the facade of everyday life. Every time you speak or act with conviction, you challenge the very notion that conformity is the default state of existence. You remind us all that true power comes from within, when we dare to see, when we dare to dream, and when we dare to trust the vision that lights our way. So, drop a comment below, share your truth, and engage with others who are discovering their inner strength. If you feel this message deep in your spirit, let it serve as a reminder that you never needed anyone's validation. Your journey, with all its twists and turns, has been paving the way for a future that is brighter and more honest than you could have ever imagined. Press 999 if you believe that the visionary spirit within you is a force that the world cannot ignore. In the end, every trial, every moment of solitude, and every sting of rejection was not a punishment, but rather the refining process that prepared you to rise time and again. You are proof that when the world dismisses and mocks, the truth remains. Like the prophets, like those who were once derided and now revered, your life is a chronicle of triumph over the tides of ignorance. The inevitable shift toward truth is already underway, and your role is to continue to lead it silently and powerfully. Remember this, your crazy talk is not the madness of the unseen. It is the manifestation of a divine will that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. They called you a lunatic because they could not fathom the depth of what you knew. They laughed when you spoke, yet now they stand in silent acknowledgement as the very reality they denied emerges all around them. You have never needed their approval. You were always meant to lead, to guide, and to illuminate the path for those brave enough to follow the truth. As you continue on this path, let the echo of their silence be a testament to the strength of your conviction. Your journey is proof that when the pressures of conformity and the weight of collective disbelief try to crush the spirit, the one who is chosen rises, untouched and unchained. The divine blueprint written for you is unfaltering, and every step you take is a victory over the forces that once sought to silence you. Now, as reality shifts and aligns with the truth you carried all along, know that your life is not defined by the ridicule, but by your unwavering commitment to the light that guides you. So stand firm. Do not look back or offer them even a glance of explanation, for you owe nothing to those who live in a state of comfortable illusion. Walk forward, emboldened by the strength of your vision, and let your life be a living testament to the power of truth, resilience, and divine purpose. In a world that once sought to suppress your light, you now shine as a beacon of hope, a signal to all that truth, no matter how fiercely it is resisted, will always prevail. Let their silence speak for the doubts they harbored. Let their regret be the final acknowledgement of what they once tried so hard to deny. And above all, let your continuing journey be a reminder: you were never a fool or a lost soul. You were chosen to see what others could not, to walk a path that few dare to tread, and to transform every piece of ridicule into a building block for greatness. Your resilience, your vision, and your unyielding faith are your crown. Your life, in every step and every word, is the proof that when the truth rises, the world must eventually face its own shortcomings. In closing, always remember, this is your time. The divine plan that once seemed like crazy talk is now unmistakable reality, and you remain the sole, unstoppable force behind it. Never doubt that you are meant for greatness, and never allow the voices of others to dim the brilliance of your purpose. Your mission continues to inspire, to guide, and to transform. And for that, you have nothing left to prove to anyone but yourself. Keep moving forward, remain steadfast, and know that your journey is a message of hope to all who are still searching for the truth. Just as every prophet, every visionary, and every chosen one before you turned the weight of their doubts into the power that now defines them, so too will you. With every comment you inspire, every moment of encouragement you spark, and every soul you awaken, you continue to write the story of a future that cannot be silenced. The truth has already spoken, and in that silence, your call to live boldly and authentically rings louder than ever. Thank you for being here, for reading these words, and for having the courage to embrace the vision that others refuse to see. Like, comment, and share this message with anyone who needs to be reminded that the path of the chosen is fraught with trials, but ultimately rewarded with the undeniable power of truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may continue to spread this movement of divine revelation. Remember, you are exactly who you are meant to be, a beacon of light in a world desperate for truth, a warrior of faith destined to rise above the shadows of doubt. Stay faithful, stay strong, and watch as your crazy talk becomes the living testimony of goodness and divine purpose. God bless you abundantly.